Good morning, everybody. Kevincage back with another daily cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you like what you've seen. Let's get right into the information today. One take and uncut. So to kick things off, shared by Craig or Krieg, I'm not sure how to say this name, I apologize. Right here, just to consider, guys, XRP right now is #1 in longs. And essentially what that means is people, investors, are betting that basically it is due, just like a rubber band. You can only pull back so far, just like a slingshot, just like a coil, ready to spring. They're betting, compared to any other cryptocurrency, it is most due for gains, and at the very least, the most gains in my opinion, not financial advice. In other words, people are more bullish about XRP than all other tokens. Now again, you can kind of compare the longs to shorts, and shorts are really just betting that it's going to depreciate in value, etc. So again, just comparing it to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, so something to consider. Next, we have random shrapnel. So right here, the #1 reason I personally do not fixate about price is simple. This is not your typical crypto. Of course, I often refer to, XRP as a digital asset because obviously it's separated itself from these others due to not only use case, but true utility on an institutional adoption level. And again, it didn't just get lucky among the rest. There is so much behind this asset, and distributed ledger technology continues to amaze me. So let's just take a look here. We see all of these various countries. We know that XRP right now is being used all throughout these areas, at least on a low scale, at least has been purchased OTC and is being spread out. And all of these areas right now on this map are RippleNet partners. Keep in mind, after the rebranding, it is on-demand liquidity now. There is no longer an X series. We are all connected through gateways, through APIs, through partners of partners. So you best believe that it is a lot more connected than we realize, especially with the X Spring or Spring developments as well. And as we go down here, the one that I was interested in, 20 years IT field, right here. Here's an analogy. Imagine being able to invest in the TCP/IP protocol as the internet was becoming a household entity. Now, think about how the IP protocol is part of every facet within the internet today. We can invest in an evolutionary protocol. Guys, if you did not see a video uploaded by Breadkimes this morning, I highly recommend you check it out. It was a cool little whiteboard, basically just talking about this. I mean, it truly is. XRP combined with the Interledger protocol has the potential to be this new bedrock for the entire financial system. I'm not saying everything is going to run in the XRP ledger, but I'm saying it is possible, and it is possible for it to get a big share of this market. And regardless, we already have institutional demand. We have proof of concepts dating back for, several years, and the inception of the XRP ledger since 2012, if not 2011. I know David Schwartz said that it did, XRP's birthday was June 2nd. Did he say, the first code was written 2011, or was it officially 2012? I'll have to double check on that. I was reading through that this morning. All right, next up, I wanted to share this video. I'm going to play this clip. So Thal Rathar, I want to remind everyone to never forget the 14th of May 2019 when Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, was speaking at the 9th high-level conference on the International Monetary System. Recommend watching it here. Brad Garlinghouse starts here. So let's just listen to this, and then let's see the parallels that other news mediums are saying. And the key word that you're going to be looking for here is the democratization or the democratizing of finance, creating this level playing field, and XRP poised as that primary intermediary bridge asset. And again, guys, if you are sick of the repetition, keep in mind, I have new people watching these videos all the time, so I try to keep some things high level, and then I can get into specifics as well. So please watch this, 19 seconds.
And the liquidity in digital assets could be applied to actually make that much more democratized and a level playing field.
There's a need, whether it's a Libra or something.
And now this is BlackRock CEO, guys, one of the biggest hedge funds. We are talking trillions with a T, so keep in mind. And let's see what he's talking about in terms of a need. After Brad Garlinghouse just said that and has been preaching that and saying this script for years. And now they're finally coming around and saying this.
Libra or something else to...
Notice how he says there's a need for Libra. They never name XRP. Pretty suspicious. The one that shall not be named. Keep your tinfoil hats on.
Whether it's a Libra or something else to democratize the exchange of foreign currency.
And the liquidity in digital assets
Pretty interesting. And as you can see, XRP is at the center of all of this. Again, XRP Ledger has no central point of failure. There's less systemic risk. There's not as many intermediaries. It is a lot cheaper than the clunky system and architecture today. There's so many benefits. And I know that RippleNet obviously knows what they're doing. They are much more than just $1 billion startup. They've met with the Trump administration. There's a lot of things when you connect the dots, and you can say they're advisories and merely only consultants to the Bank of International Settlements, the World Bank, and the International Monetary Fund. All right, well, I think there's a greater plan for XRP. If you guys think I'm way too bullish, that is fine. I'm just saying, hey, $20, $100 to let it sit there instead of going out to dinner one night and holding XRP for a few years and see? The upside is just too great if you are right. And you have to consider that, because this is truly, I don't even want to say the Bitcoin 2.0, because XRP is a beast of its own. It is the first blockchain that went outside of proof of work, and it has never had an error, ever. It is literally not hackable. It is hack-proof at this time up until this point. Nothing is perfect, but I truly believe that the financial system can build upon something utilizing XRP to level this playing field and truly bring interoperability with these protocols, smart contracts, and true automation to really remove that friction from today's world of payments. Next, Jack Dorsey, actual CEO of Twitter. Pretty interesting that he says this now. Twitter is funding a small independent team of up to 5 open source architects, engineers, and designers to develop an open and decentralized standard for social media. The goal is for Twitter to ultimately be a client of the standard. Now, I don't know if you guys have watched Jack Dorsey go on the Joe Rogan podcast. Highly recommend you do. They talk about all of the issues of centralization, decentralization, and a lot of the battles that he faces, whether you agree with him or not. It is interesting to always listen and just kind of see other people's points of view and, obviously develop your own. Next, XRP CryptoWolf. I talk to this guy regularly. He is starting a YouTube channel. Literally just search XRP CryptoWolf. Great guy, and I'm really excited for his content. He told me that he'll continue to send me, his content as well, and feel free to share it around. So I always appreciate that, and I'm here to help, anything you need as well. So right here, Lithuania's central bank believes that all central banks should gain experience, in digital asset management and need to participate in the digital asset space. They said that the future of CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, is tied to the development of technologies like blockchain. So now another country, again, whether it's Eastern Europe or, Southeast Asia, we're seeing the adoption happen, and it is truly like dominoes falling. So one by one, we know German banks now have a proposed law on January 1st of 2020 to literally custody digital assets, and we're seeing that throughout even the European Union as well. So very exciting. Next, wanted to share this quote. Absolutely love it. Tori from Crypto Wizard has a great course as well. And no, I'm not being paid to spread that. I just think, honestly, people are calling this guy a scam. He knows what he's doing. And I've gone through the course. It's, very eye-opening, and I've learned a lot. So right here, I like this quote. Your parents said crypto is risky and a scam. Your neighbor says the same, and your friends say the same. 99% of the opportunities presented to change your life are missed because you listen to the people with no experience or knowledge in that field. Follow your own path. Exactly. And not only that, you have to consider that when you are giving your opinion to others too. Are you encouraging them? Really? You have to really consider that and, apply that to yourself as well. So I'm trying to, open my own mind for that, because I can be a little myopic and narrow-sighted at times. All right, right here, Thalrathar. So I know I talked about this yesterday. Look at this. CLS Group, obviously talking about liquidity management. They need that, the industry driver, like the fintechs that they always talk about. Yes, they are connected. They have a gateway connected to Ripple. I've shared that yesterday as well in the video. It is very, very interesting to see these big players connected. And now he's talking about CLS and what is it? Continuous linked settlement. They do the majority of the transactions in the foreign exchange market. That is $5+ trillion per day in transactions. He says, now if you could hold liquidity in one place instead of all of the liquidity, being segregated like today in these pre-funded Nostro Vostro accounts, on-demand liquidity is part of the solution. This is also likely where Xpool comes into play. Now, nobody really knows Xpool. I know it, has a trademark as well if you want to look into it on the government site. But people believe that there could just be one giant pool of pooled liquidity for people to draw XRP when they need it to make transfers. Now, There's so many variables to this. I mean, because obviously when XRP is used in high volume and high value transfers, it does appreciate. So then a lot of banks will want to custody it and it'll appreciate. Of course, there's traders, market makers, LPs, and then even you and I, like retail people that want to get into it, especially when products are built upon it. It does have this flywheel effect where the price could just keep going up and up and up until it truly is stable at a very high price. So there's a lot of variables, but let's just listen to this clip from here about the benefits of having, one area or pool to hold this liquidity for these financial institutions.
Liquidity in all those different countries, again, that's pools of liquidity which are segregated. You have to hold more. If you can hold it in one place and easily move it to where you have to make the payments, you can make your payments quicker, it's cheaper for you to do it, you offer your clients a better service, and it costs your clients less to get their payments done. So it sort of feeds through in many different ways into the overall profitability of the industry and also into the levels of service that the banks are able to offer their clients.
So no surprise there, obviously just creating efficiency, better levels of service, more profitability, basically everything a business wants. So just something to consider. All right, lastly, King Solomon started a YouTube channel. Literally probably type in King Solomon on YouTube or XRP Owl, something like that, and you should find him and subscribe. Turn on those push notifications. This guy does not sugarcoat anything, and he connects the dots and has all of the links always provided on Twitter as well. And I just like his opinion here. XRP is not a guarantee either. I personally will not sell, but that's my personal decision. I've personally seen too much to sell. Everyone needs to learn to lead and not follow, take responsibility for your own choices. Nobody reaps your fruit or faces your consequences except you. So again, guys, if you think I'm persuasive, please double check yourself, do your own research, question everything I tell you, like sincerely, double check, question it. But if you do your research, I am not fairly confident, I'm very confident you'll come to the same conclusion. You understand the risk is there, nothing is guaranteed, but for me, the upside is just too high. We're seeing the integration, even King Solomon, there's about 5 assets on a regular basis that we see in regards to smart contracts, oracles, cross-border payments being utilized and integrated with the big boys in institutions and banks. And those are where my investments are going. Granted, some of you might get, 30,000% returns and beat me with some assets, but that is fine because I want to grow my money and I want to be a little bit more secure and sure with my investments in an already uncertain place and landscape. So this is, a nascent market. There's so much upside, and to me, XRP should absolutely be a part of your portfolio. So guys, be sure to hit this like button, share it around if you, find any nuggets of information helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.